find me, join me. I can see.
Y'all ready for this?
My name's Amanda Easton and I'm a pop artist from Sydney, Australia. I make retro-inspired theatrical electronic pop. But when I'm not doing my own music, I do cover band gigs, solo gigs, tribute shows, recording sessions.
When I open up, you can build a rocket, but I like living. But I hold her hurt so dear. My head's spinning. I'm not a girl, you know. Ooh, they know. Ooh, no one knows again. I dance to the music in my head. Don't get it, 'cause I hear this tune instead. But all I have is my heart to hold up there to your throat. You swear under your breath you never sink down to this day.
Female singers. Amanda Easton has been a darling of the indie pop scene over the past few years, thanks to her unique theatrical style and quirky sound.
I dance to the music in my head. Don't hit it, 'cause I hear this tune instead. Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking Shoot that poison arrow through my heart. Shoot that poison arrow through my heart. Shoot that poison arrow.
Hello, so here we are at the wallflower shoot.
Come here, join me. I can see you're frightened too, to look into my deepest blue. But I'll be watching you from here.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. How you going, Sydney? You're a good man. You're a good man filling up my request list for me. Thank you. I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday evening. G'day! And it's a beautiful spring morning here in Sydney. I haven't actually been outside the door, of course, but it feels like it's a beautiful day outside and I might just go out in it later. So that's always exciting. It's something really lifts your spirits, I think, about the weather. And especially when you've been in a long winter, a long locked down winter, and we're coming into spring, it feels particularly hopeful. Oh, thanks, Sid. And vice versa. Hi, you just left? What do you mean you just left? No, come back. How are you, Pete? Great to see you, and great to see both of you, Sid and Pete, in Discord. I know it's yet another platform, but I think that one, it's just like a Facebook just with people that you want to be with. Not that I'm going to be giving up Facebook anytime soon. I still love that. But wonderful to see you. We actually had an earthquake in Australia, and they're really uncommon. We're not sitting on any tectonic plate edges, which is why I believe most earthquakes happen. So it's really rare for us to have earthquakes. I think we had one when I was little, not in Sydney, but in Newcastle that, actually caused a lot of damage. This one was, they're talking about, how do you measure them? I can't think of what the measurement term is, but it's 6. Although they're not sure yet because it's only a new one. And it's there's been a little bit of building damage in Victoria, which is the state underneath us here in New South Wales. And some people nearby felt it, apparently. I didn't feel it. I've been in one earthquake when I was living in Japan. Japan is prone to lots and lots of earthquakes. And so I was always taught, sit under the doorway where it's the strongest. You grew up with them. Yeah, that's the thing. Some people, it's like my Japanese friends, they were used to them. And so they didn't think anything of it. 6 is pretty good, right? And it was a 6 that I felt when I was living in Nagoya. Now, I was by myself in the apartment that I shared with my friend Sarah. And the whole place shook and things fell off the shelf. So it was definitely a noticeable one. I was pretty scared because I'd never experienced an earthquake before, but I sat under the door frame and it didn't really last that long, so it was all fine. And also in Japan, all the apartments are built on rollers, which is, pretty clever. And so any shaking that they get, the building moves. I don't know, they probably do that all around the world now, but I have a feeling it might have been a Japanese, Richter scale, that's it, thank you. It might have been a Japanese invention. But then, if the buildings can kind of flex as the earth moves, they're less likely to be cracked and damaged. You don't even get the pulse going unless it's a 5. So how often do you get them? So that's the only earthquake, the one that I experienced in Nagoya when I lived there. That's the only one I've ever experienced. So, how often do you have them?
I know California has a lot, right? Is Arizona the same? It has, fairly common. It's a bit scary for me. But, we have spiders that kill you, so we've all got something, haven't we? Ah, dear. Well, Pete, if you'd like any requests, please feel free. We have a lot to start off with, which is awesome. How good was yesterday? I'm still on a high. It was so lovely. I mean, it's not about making the money, which obviously I appreciate, but it's just the support and how everyone jumps on, and it's so nice. So my first hype train, I'm going to have to learn a hype train song, because I've seen people do that. When the hype train starts, people start doing something clever. I thought I might start playing Locomotion by Kylie Minogue. Here in Arizona, not so much, but in Cali, always. Yeah, once a year. That's pretty damn often. I mean, it's big news here in Australia that we had a fairly small earthquake with very little damage, just because it just never happens here. But it's also a nice distraction from the other news, right? We've had lots of protests happening in Melbourne, which is where the earthquake is as well. So maybe God's trying to say something. Against construction workers having to wear masks and get vaccinated on site and all those kind of things. But the general consensus is it's not actually the majority of construction workers, but that a whole lot of anti-vax right-wing brigade have jumped on this as a chance to make their point, and they're making the construction industry look pretty bad. So there you go. All right, I'm going to start with Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, only because it's first thing. In childhood, I was woken by my waterbed waving and my model airplanes dangling from the ceiling in a dogfight. Oh. I had a waterbed at one stage. They're awesome. Dangling from the ceiling in a dogfight, I love it. So that would have been, you would have felt like you were dreaming. So, yes, I'm going to start not with Eye to Eye, because I always write songs that are quite hard to sing first thing in the morning. It's not first thing in the morning, but I slept in today. So it feels like first thing in the morning to me. But I love this song. This is for you, Sid. This is from Frankie Valli. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. Oh, I want you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The thought of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know it's for real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Da 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 baby. me love you. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Da 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 da. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm the lonely nights. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't let me down. I say, oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you. That's a funny song. When you were older, you were involved in a poker tournament when another strong one hit. We all just looked up to the ceiling and dealt the cards for the next hand. You cashed in that tournament. Excellent. Good to hear, Sydney. And you didn't let the earthquake bother you. If you'd have been playing with an Australian, they probably would have, ah! And then you would have won even bigger because they would have freaked out. By the way, I have some extra commands. You know that you could get a kiss from having channel points. I suddenly thought, you know what? Kisses should be free. So you can now type !kiss and you get a free one. It's still listed in the channel points and I had to give it some reward because you have to. So you can get it for one. Thanks, Sid. You can also get a hug, a free hug. So that's !hug. And there's a few other little, there you go. And there's a few other little cheeky ones. You know, I have to keep it interesting as I'm learning different stuff. I'm trying to add different stuff. All right, let me see. I'm going to, of course, there you go. There's your virtual hug. I'm sorry I didn't have that ready for Susan yesterday, but I know that Pete, you've had a little bit of a tough time lately too, so a hug for you too, mate. All right, now let me see. Got a few good songs there, if I say so myself. All right, I'm going to do the one that seems to be the perennial favourite, which is very flattering for me. Hey, what a waste! How are you going? Great to see you. Now, Paul, what a waste, has posted some gorgeous photos of where he lives. And if you want to have a look, check out the Discord. And there's even some deer there. Gorgeous. And I would love to see, I know, Sydney, you've emailed me photos of your little trips and near where you are, but feel free to post them in the channel too, because I think that's one of the most exciting things about live streams like this, where you get to see people from all around either the country or the world. And, you know, what we look out the window and see seems so average to us a lot of the time, but then from someone else's point of view, it's amazing, and it kind of makes you appreciate things better as well. If I could teach you all the secrets that I've learned about the world, I would, and I would show you only goodness in the world, if I could. But Don't be frightened of pain. We need it like the rain. It's there to help us to the other side. It's the times that are the hardest at first that can mean the most and make it all worthwhile. Take this song to keep till later on. My love is in this song, so you're not alone. I write a letter to a small boy. You might not get it now, but maybe one day when I can't put my arms around you, these words will mean to you so much more. You were born with such a handsome face, but that can't replace compassion and kindness. Make sure you look for all the beauty in the world around you, and inside people too. They'll bring it back to you, and they're really all that matters in the end. Take this song to keep till later on. My love is in this song, so you're not alone. I write a letter to a small boy. You might not get it now. Sorry, I just heard the cheers and I loved it actually. Felt like a real good gig. I write a letter to a small boy. You might not get it now, but maybe one day when I can't put my arms around you, these words will mean to you so much more. I write a letter to a small boy. You might not get it now, but maybe one day when I can't put my arms around you, these words will mean to you so much more. I know, it's fine, the clap. I just, yesterday they weren't making a noise. I don't know if they were making a noise for you, but, so I was a little bit surprised. But it's actually great because at real gigs, people, you know, shout out and talk and, you know, lots of things happen. And it's actually really nice to get any kind of oral feedback because obviously I can only see your comments and I can't hear you. So it's actually quite nice. Oh, the follow age one didn't seem to work. I wonder if you put follow age and then you tag yourself, will that work? That's one I just added, so maybe I haven't done it properly, but it's supposed to... Oh, you heard it yesterday. Oh, I just hadn't for some reason. So it's supposed to tell you how long you've been following the stream. And same with watch time. I'm not sure if watch time is how long you've been watching today or how many like hours you've watched altogether. So yeah, that's weird. That one didn't work. It's probably me. Yeah, no, it's probably my fault. I'm still getting the hang of all these kind of things. All right, let me see. What have I got for you? I was talking about the earthquake in Australia that we had this morning that was, you know, nothing compared to what a lot of people overseas have experienced. I don't think anyone's been hurt as far as I've heard. Yeah, water, I don't know if I've done that properly. I wonder if you put follow... oh, there you go. It works just a bit slow. Maybe it's just making the calculations in its head. You've watched... Oh. Has watched Mandy's stream for 0 hours. Oh, my goodness. That's not true. It must just be for today. So maybe until you reach an hour, it won't tell you. It wasn't a big earthquake here. It was only Richter 6, on the 6 on the Richter scale, and they're not even sure about that yet because apparently it takes a while to refine the measurement. And it looks like no one was hurt, and it was just maybe a little bit of building damage. But the thing is, we never have them in Australia, so that's why it was all a bit of a, big news item. But just coincidentally, my son taught me this song. He was playing it on the Spotify in the speaker in the house. And I just went, what is that song? I love it. And it's a song that he particularly likes at the moment. I don't know if you've heard it before, but I wanted to learn it. And I thought, well, it's actually pretty good timing with the earthquake because it's called As the World Caves In. It was actually released about maybe 3 or 4 years ago by a guy called Matt Maltese, but it sounds like a song from the 1930s or 40s. It's really retro sounding on purpose. But was it a roller or a jolt? I don't know, because I didn't feel anything. But a girl called Sarah Cothran has recently done a cover of it. And I think that might be the version that Joey heard. And it's got a funny story. It sounds very morbid, but it's kind of a bit tongue-in-cheek. It's actually, the guy that wrote it as a love song for Donald Trump and Theresa May. So the story is they're in bed together having their last night of romance while they're triggering atomic warfare. So it's pretty out there, but I think the song is gorgeous. I basically learned it this morning, so there's every chance I won't do a great job, but I would like to try it if you'll let me push in the request queue, because I just think it's quite timely with the old earthquake thing happening this morning. My feet are aching and your bag is pretty tight, and we've drunk a couple of bottles, babe, and set our grief aside. The papers say it's doomsday, the button has been pressed. We're gonna nuke each other up, boys, till old Satan stands impressed. And here it is, our final night alive, as the earth burns to the ground. Oh boy, it's you that I lie with, as the atom bomb locks in. Oh boy, it's you. TV with, as the world caves in. You put your finest suit on, I paint my fingernails. Oh, we're going out in style, babe, and everything's on sale. We creep up on extinction, I pull your arms right in. I weep and say goodnight, love, while my organs pack it in. And here it is, our final night alive, as the earth burns to the ground. Oh boy, it's you that I lie with, as the atom bomb locks in. Oh boy, it's you I watch TV with, as the world caves in. There you go, as the world caves in. Very appropriate for today. Childhood book. A few years back you enjoyed the Sword of Truth series. I haven't heard of those, But that sounds like a kind of a fantasy sci-fi type thing, which means I would like it, but it also means my son might like it. I was thinking, never heard that song? No, I hadn't until recently. I hadn't heard that original version. I mean, the song sounds the same, but I went back and listened to the really retro-sounding version. But they're both very languid and, you know, kind of ballady, and I just love it. I love the darkness of the idea, but I also just love the chords and the melody, and yeah, I love it when you hear a song and you just fall in love with it straight away, because that doesn't happen to me most often. I'll hear a song twice. If I'm going to love it, it'll be the second time I'll kind of go, oh, and I've heard it before and it's got into my head. But there are times where I hear a song once, and that song, I heard the first line and went, yep, love it. Because Joey talks to the Google Home, and he said, Spotify, play as the world caves in. And he goes, Mum, you might like this song. I just loved it. The other time that happened to me, because it doesn't happen very often that I just love something straight off. The other song that happened to me with was Goldfrapp, Strict Machine. I don't know if you know it, but that song just blew my mind. It sounds a little bit like, and I'd been doing a show about 70s music, so I had just discovered myself T-Rex, and Goldfrapp obviously has very big T-Rex influences. The kind of sexy rhythms of it are really similar, and I heard the Strict Machine song and just went, oh, something really retro but modern about it at the same time. Completely fell in love with Goldfrapp after that. And I'm going to look further into this guy, Matt Maltese, as well, because I love the fact that he's got this really old crooner sound, but he's writing currently. Anyway, there you go. So my favourite childhood book was The Secret Garden. Frances Hodgson Burnett, I think is the name of the author. And it's funny, yesterday we were talking about Doctor Who, you know, I love. I never read any of the books, although I know they do make books as well. But we were talking about the TARDIS, and I always had this fantasy as a kid of walking into a house. And I used to dream about things like this, that, you know, on the outside was really small, but inside had all these secret compartments and hidden rooms and mysterious bits that you couldn't see unless you really looked carefully. And I think The Secret Garden always held that appeal as well. It was like a walled-off garden. It was really mysterious, and I loved it. Having said that, I tried to read it when Joey was a few years younger than now, and it didn't have the same effect on me. Sometimes you have to leave those things in the past, but at the time, I really loved it. All right, let me see. What have I got for you? Oh, yes, absolutely. Water. Chronicles of Narnia, and I have read those with Joey. Love them. Absolutely love them. Same with like The Hobbit and all the Tolkien books, and I'm a massive fan of fantasy and sci-fi books. And I'm a massive reader now. I probably read 3 books a week, and I'm the kind of person who'll just read anything, and people give me gifts of books, which I love, because I'm not kind of against any kind of style, even if it's not something I'd pick myself. My mother-in-law gave me a whole lot of crime novels for Christmas one year. She knew I was a reader, and she just picked the top 10 of a bookstore somewhere, and they happened to be 8 out of 10 of them were crime novels, and I'd never really read them, and I love them too now. Hardy Boys, yes, and Nancy Drew. I think, you know, when I was growing up, there was more of a girls read this and boys read that, which is not the case anymore, I'd like to say. I mean, a little bit it is, but much less so. So I feel like the boys that I grew up with loved the Hardy Boys, and the girls that I grew up with loved Nancy Drew. Yes, it is a fantasy series. Guy learns he's a wizard, and each book he discovers more powers. That sounds awesome. Falls in love with woman who, when she uses her gifts, can compel you to tell the truth. Ooh, that would be a good power. Sometimes that happens. The books and the movies can be really different, and whichever one you read first, you like that. But I think someone that's done that really well, and this is another bunch of books that I love, is Harry Potter. And in every case, I'd read the books first, and I think the movies are so similar to the books that you can really enjoy both. But sometimes I think it's worse when you read a book first, and because you can't see the characters, you form a picture in your head, and then the actor they cast to match that character in the book looks completely different than you'd imagined it, and it's like, no. I really liked, it's probably a bit embarrassing, but I really like the Twilight series. I know they're for teenagers, and I wasn't a teenager when I read them, but I love vampires. I read all the Anne Rice books, like Interview with a Vampire. It was the big movie, and I think I saw that movie first, and then I read the book, and then I realised there was a series of about 20 and then a whole lot of spin-offs about witches and werewolves, and I loved them. Same with True Blood. True Blood is like a grown-up version of the vampire series. Paul, you haven't seen or read Harry Potter? I would so highly recommend them. I mean, they are kids' books, but they can feel like they just aim at everybody. I think they're brilliant. I would read the books rather than seeing the movies, but both is great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not everyone loves them, but I loved them. And I don't think I've ever met anyone who's seen them or read them and hasn't. So give it a go. But yes, the True Blood series rocked my world on TV and in novel form, even though the stories were quite different. And you haven't either, Sid. Oh, please give them a go. If you see a movie on telly or on one of your kind of stream services or whatever, or you know someone that's got a book, I'd hate to say go out and buy the book and then you hate it. But if you borrow one or you see one, oh, especially if you like any kind of fantasy sci-fi, so good. Love Harry Potter. All right, I'm just going to the song list here. Oh, by the way, Lou Vella, who I know you guys know, and he's someone I've known since I was a kid. We did amateur musical theatre together, and he is such, like you guys are too, he is such a great supporter of mine. And he was on Peter Northcote's stream last week, I think it was last Saturday night, and he bought one of my mugs. I've got a mug with my blonde logo on it, and he'd bought one. And so he was drinking his coffee on the stream and holding up the mug, you know, to do a cheeky little promotion. Yes, True Blood was awesome. And hey, James, how are you going? Awesome to see you. Very good to see you. So yes, he held up this mug, and since then a lot of people have been asking me, that people that were watching Peter Northcote stream were asking me about the mug. So I've just created a new one. I've still got the blonde one, but I also thought I'm going to do a limited edition version with red hair. Oh, nice one, Sydney. Book Outlet. Yeah, because who cares if he was showing off his mug to you, Pete? Sorry, Paul. That's awesome. He's a cutie. So I made a redhead version of it as well. I'll pull up a photo later. I haven't got one here right now. But I'm only selling the redhead version until Freedom Day, which is what the press have been calling the day that our Premier has been touting as the day that we come out of lockdown, which is October 18. I don't know if it will be that day, and I don't think we'll have a lot of freedom. There will be a lot of restrictions still, I think, but less restricted than we are now. So that's the lockdown Mandy mug. They're upwards of 80% off. I tell you what too, in Australia, books are really expensive. I read all of mine on my Kindle. Well, I don't have a Kindle. I've got an iPad thing. It's a Microsoft Surface Pro, but same kind of idea. And I use the Kindle app on that, and I read all my books there. I mean, I've got bookshelves full of books in this house, and I haven't got much space. You know, I live in an inner city terrace and all the walls are covered in bookshelves and they're all full. So it's hard to buy new books. He said, hey, Paul, I've got a Mandy mug. He's hilarious. I've started calling them Mandy mugs too. That's cute. So, yeah, I buy all my books electronically now. And, I mean, they're also, you know, pretty cheap that way. But, yeah, now I've just got a hard disk full of books, but that's awesome. But, yeah, books, if you buy actual physical books in Australia, they're probably 2 or 3 times the amount that, I don't know, in Canada, James, if books are expensive, but in the US, I know they're a lot cheaper. I mean, so many things are cheaper in the US than they are in Australia. And part of that is, I mean, I recently saw a map that overlaid the states with Australia as far as scale goes. And apparently we're pretty much the same size. But you've got 50 states, we've got 8 or however many we have, and ours aren't very populated. We've got population all around the coast, and there's not really much happening in the middle because we've got a whole lot of desert. And I know you guys have got desert too, but I think a larger percentage of Australia is desert and pretty much unusable land. And so our population is small, and so if something physical like books has to be trucked around between towns, it costs a fortune. It costs a fortune to get anything anywhere. Our mail is expensive, and it's just, you know, low population, so that means you don't get those bulk discounts on things, and yeah, so it can be expensive. Oh, that sounds good. Winner takes it all. That's an ABBA song. All right, let me see. I'm just going into the song list. You're very welcome to add something in there. I wonder where David is. We haven't seen David for a little while. I saw him on Friday night. So, James, what have you been up to? It's lovely to see you. I hope all is well where you are. All right, the next request on the list is Eye to Eye. This is, of course, from Polaroids and Postcards. When nighttime closes in around us and day is stripped away, you say my name like something precious and take my breath away. It's not possession for us, it's belonging to us. No such thing as close enough. So much passion for us, it's belonging to us, impenetrable. Truth will show when you stand so close otherwise. Toe to toe, so close, eye to eye. Our world is just this room in this moment, just where we want to be. No one sees me quite as clearly in these spaces in between. It's not possession for us, it's belonging to us. No such thing as close enough. So much passion for us, it's belonging to us. Don't take this for granted. Don't do so close. Eye to eye. Truth will show when you stand so close and wide. Don't do so close. Eye to eye. Truth will show. Don't do so close. Thank you for your request, Sid. I'm just scrolling back to have a look. Kirk Kerkorian basically stole his casinos in a stock buyout. Oh, wow. Ah, thank you, James. Good to hear. I'm glad things are going great for you. All good here too. Book before that was about soldiers of colour in World War II and how they were mistreated. Well, that sounds interesting. Joey, my son, is, he's just turned 12, but he is really intrigued by the world wars. And so we have been watching quite a lot of docos and movies based, particularly World War One. He's been interested in, but he's starting to be more interested in World War II as well. We've got the dagginess happening today, which I love. All right, I'm going to play, before I sing another song, I'm going to play another song that I've never learned to do live, actually, which is kind of weird. But this is a song from Polaroids and Postcards. You've probably heard the background of this song before, but an ex-boyfriend, I think I must have been about maybe 20, that I was going out with. I can't remember now where I saw the message, but I saw a message that he wrote. No, that's right. I did see messages that he'd written to somebody. But first I saw he was taking out stuff from his pocket, and there was receipts, and he went to give me a receipt for something. And then he took it back and he went, oh, no, not that one. And I saw it, and then I kind of grabbed it and looked at it. And it was for a bikini. And he didn't wear like a girl's bikini. I knew the shop. It was a shop in Bondi Beach called Bikini Island, which has the best range of swimming costumes. And it had the type of costume written on the receipt. It was for a girl. And it was from the day before when he was supposed to be at work. And then I ended up seeing a message. I think I actually answered the home phone, and it was a girl, and she'd asked for him anyway. Turns out he was seeing someone else, and that's what this song is about.
Saw the message that you sent her. I think I know what it implies. Do I risk taking off this lid when I'm not sure what is inside? And all that's saving me is possibility, but there's another explanation for this. I'm holding on to just a possibility that this isn't what I think it is. Let me hold on, let me hold on. I saw the mistake about your love, about your heart, about your life before me. You're considering a life that had a different ending, and you Can this really change us? No matter what you say to her, she can't touch us. Saw the message about your heart, about your heart, about your life without me. I saw the message. I saw the message. I saw the message.
Forgotten. I will check that out. All right, let me see. Next in the pile is A Lucky Child, Memoir of Surviving Auschwitz. Wow. That'll probably be quite harrowing, but he survived, so that's a good thing. Hey, that's a cool emote, Pete. Where did you get that one from? I'm waiting for... The way it works from the streamer's point of view is you get an amount of slots, they call it, and the more followers you get and the more you stream, the more slots you get. So I'm waiting for more slots to open up so that I have more emotes for you to have from my channel. Oh, I definitely have to play this song. I mean, this video first for this song. This is a request from Sydney. Don't forget, if you feel like requesting something, you're very welcome. Just type !SL in the chat and it'll come up with the song list. Bum, 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 bum. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was afraid that somebody will see. 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the locker she wanted to say, 2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more. Bum, 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 bum. She was afraid to come out in the open, bum, bum, bum. So a blanket around her she wore. She was afraid to come out of the open, so she sat bundled up on the shore. 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the blanket she wanted to stay. 2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more. Bum, 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 bum. Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and I wonder what she's gonna do. Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and the poor little girl's turning blue. 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So in the water she wanted to stay. 2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more. you go. That is very funny, that song. Thank you very much, Sid, for opening my ears to such extreme dagginess. Will the temperature really drop under 100 degrees Fahrenheit this week? Simply the best idea ever. Thank you, Sid. It's like Purple People Eater. You think because of its novelty-ishness that it would be easy, but it's got that weird thing, bum, 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 which is in kind of a different part of the key. So it's actually kind of weird. Kind of weird and not as easy as you would think. Very strange, though. That is for sure. All right, what have we got next on the list? Oh, one of my songs. This is a song for my dad. All about missing my conversations with my dad, and he was a great conversationalist. You were logic, I was melodrama, I haven't changed. At times I look into the mirror and in my eyes I see you again. It was safety and security you wanted for me. But I erred towards audacity. You'd be pleased secretly. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. Your quiet wisdom and your ferocity, I miss that too. Oh, you'd be outraged at our politicians, what the world's been through. I want to tell you how it all turned out. Wish I could introduce to you the people I love. You'd look over your newspaper and you would love them too. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. Tears still strike at the strangest moments, but I know you're still with me. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. The entire album is daggy. That's all right, we love it. Paparazzi! Oh, I love that song. Have you ever had a song? I mean, we all have earworms, right? You know, you hear a song and it just keeps on recurring in your head. And you, even if someone just mentions the title of a song, sometimes that's enough. If it's a really big famous song that you know well, then it just gets stuck. Paparazzi was like that for me, but in a good way because I love the song. But it was when I was pregnant, so it must have come out like 12 years ago. And I had quite a traumatic pregnancy, not only towards the very end, really only the birth. I loved being pregnant. I felt, privileged to be bringing a new life into the world. I loved it. and I didn't get sick, so I was lucky. I had a lovely pregnancy. I mean, aches and pains and tiredness and moodiness sometimes, but in general, I loved being pregnant. Actually, having the baby was really traumatic, and I had to be rushed to emergency and all that kind of stuff. And so I was out at some stage, and that, I don't know if that was the last song that I heard before I went out, but when I came to, it was playing in my head, and it didn't leave my head for days. I was in hospital maybe 4 days or whatever, and the song didn't leave my head. And but the thing is, even though the birth process wasn't very pleasant, and don't worry, I'm not going to go into any detail, it was such a important time and such a fabulous time having a child. So the song brings back lovely memories in a weird kind of way. So I might push in, if that's all right, Sydney. I might push that one in. I'm a big fan of Gaga at the best of times, but I think this is probably my favourite of her songs. We are the crowd, we're coming out. Got my flash on, it's true. Need that picture of you, it's so magical. We'd be so fantastical. Leather and jeans, garage glamorous. Not sure what it means, but this photo of us, it don't have a price. Ready for those flashing lights, 'cause you know that, baby, I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi, baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop until the boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase you down until you love me. Paparazzi, I'll be your girl, backstage at your show. Velvet ropes and guitars, yeah, 'cause you're my rock star. In between the sets, eyeliner and cigarettes. Shadow is burnt, yellow dance on return. My lashes are dry, purple teardrops I cry. It don't have a price. Loving you is cherry pie. 'Cause you know that, baby, I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi, baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop till the boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase you down until you love me. Paparazzi. I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi, baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop until the boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase you down until you love me. Paparazzi. Oh, that's awesome, Pete. That would be a great album to get on vinyl. Not mine, but thank you. I'm glad mine was the first. I didn't know she had a new one. Oh, Thank you so much, James. What time is it there? James, what city in Canada are you in, by the way? I know I should know, but please remind me. You like that song? So do I. So do I. And I'm going to look up Pete, her new stuff. I didn't know she had a new one with Tony Bennett, but I love what she's done with him up until now. And James is there. It's 8:30 in Arizona now. That's a decent time, isn't it? Like, not too late. I haven't done Purple People Eater, have I? Did I accidentally tick that one off, Sydney? That's very naughty. It's 11:30 p.m. Oh, it is 11:35. It's late for you. Well, thank you for hanging out with us late. It will be released in October. Excellent. Well, I have a record player now too. And I do love getting stuff on vinyl. And I bet you hers is going to sound amazing because, you know, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, not only will it be good music, but it'll be beautifully produced. Yes, it was an accident. Oh, I wouldn't do that to you. I'll put it back. Cheeky. Me, that is. Oh, but before, if you're gonna head off to sleep, James, we'll give you a good night kiss. There you go. That's for you. Thank you for popping in. It's lovely to see you. Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shake and I said, oh it looks like a Purple People Eater to me. Midland, 100 kilometres north of Toronto. Fantastic. Are you going to sleep? You're going to sleep or you just wanted a kiss? It was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying Purple People Eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying Purple People Eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying Purple People Eater. Sure looks strange to me. One eye. Well, he came down to earth and he lit in a tree. He said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him saying in a voice so gruff, I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough. It was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying Purple People Eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying Purple People Eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying Purple People Eater. Sure looks strange to me. One horn, I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line? He said, it's eating purple people and it sure is fine. That's not the reason that I came to land. I want to get a job in a rock and roll band. Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, Purple People Eater, pigeon-toed, undergrowth, flying Purple People Eater. We wear short shorts, flying Purple People Eater. Sure looks strange to me. And then he swung from the tree, he lit on the ground. She started to rock and really rocking around. It was a crazy ditty with a swinging tune, singing about Papa Lupa and Liam Bam Boom. Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying Purple People Eater, pigeon-toed, undergrowth, flying Purple People Eater. I like short shorts, flying little people eater. Sure looks strange to me, Purple People. And he went on his way, and what do you know? I saw him last night on a TV show. He was blowing it out, really knocking him dead, playing rock and roll music through the hole in his head. Tequila! Oh, crazy, crazy song. Every time I come to that end, I'm like, is that really right? Is that the way it goes? That's the way it goes. Sorry to accidentally knock that one off the list. All right, let me see. I'm going to play you a song. Yesterday we were talking. Oh, what thank you. Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. There's my purple people eaters running across the street. Mazak, that is awesome. Mazak, oh, she is. Thank you, Wada. She is one of my best friends, and thank you. She, the first time we were in lockdown in Sydney, which was March last year, probably when most of the world was, and she lived in Bondi. You know, Bondi is quite a famous suburb, I guess you've heard of in Sydney. And she, you know, had a great life there with her husband, but things were hard during lockdown for a lot of people. And she has a lot of family in Perth. So Sydney is on the east coast. Perth is on the west. I'm not sure of the distance between LA and New York, but I think it's a similar thing. So, you know, Sydney and Perth are about 6 hours flying time away from each other. And it's beautiful. Perth is beautiful. It's a much smaller city than Sydney, but the beaches are divine. The weather is gorgeous, and it's a cool city. And she came from there originally, and she decided she would move back closer to family with her husband, of course. And ever since she's... Oh, Pete! Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. You guys. Ever since Mazak moved to Perth, they have had almost zero lockdowns in Western Australia. They're a very isolated state. And sorry, I'm very touched. Thank you. And... oh, you are so good to me. Thank you, Pete. And ever since she's moved there, she's had the best time with gigs, and I really miss her, and all her friends over here miss her. But it's been really good for her, and because WA hasn't hardly been in lockdown, she's managed to get a lot of really great gigs that really suit her style. And anyway, I was going, you've got to come on Twitch, it's awesome. And so she just joined up the other day. She hasn't done any streams yet, but somewhere down the track she wants to. So I would love it when she is, because I can introduce you all to her. And so that's so awesome that you gave her a sub, and she can come and check what it's actually really like, you know, here on Twitch. I've got a lot of friends that I reckon would love streaming here. You've heard me talk about Joe Elms a lot. Joe Elms is the other half of Sing Little Sister, which is my duo. Thanks, Pete. And she's also... in First Ladies of Soul with me, the Swell Sister. She's one of my best mates. Anyway, I spent quite a bit of time last night going through the setup for live streaming, because she's about to do it, I think, on Facebook as a start, because even that's a big step. But at least she's familiar with Facebook, and then she can move over to Twitch once she's kind of got that. So I don't know, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, but there's actually quite a lot that goes into live streaming. I mean... I've got a whole PA set up here, but then all the software dashboard stuff on the laptop is all new. It's just a different world. I mean, we're not talking about Pete Northcote's style of live streaming. He's got like 5 cameras and, you know, he's gone all out, and it's an amazing setup. But even the small setup I've got here, I mean, you've seen me make mistakes and not go live when I think I am, and the opposite, and then not getting audio and all those kind of things. There's just so many little things to think about before going live. And then I was almost pleased to hear Joe said, I'm really nervous. And she is such an experienced performer and wonderful singer and musician. She's one of those annoying, multi-talented people that has just got really good ear for music, and as well as being just a great singer, she can play piano and guitar and probably just about anything she picks up. But even she's one of those girls, I love working with her at a gig, because if anything goes wrong, she's just calm and cool and she'll know how to fix it. She's awesome in so many ways. That thing here, that is my recording mic. So the mic I'm using here is the kind of mic I would use when I'm doing a live gig at a venue. But so this microphone is, it's unidirectional. Hang on, it's unidirectional, so you have to kind of sing right into it for it to be heard. I could drop this mic and chuck it around and it would still work. This mic, there's a mic, I don't know if you can see, the black thing is the sound shield to try and keep the sound in. So this is recording actual recordings that you, end up releasing onto records, and when I do sessions and that kind of thing. So there's a microphone inside here, which is a much more expensive microphone than this, and is has a different, it's called a condenser mic, and it picks up everything. So I don't use that mic live here because you would hear outside and downstairs and everywhere. Some people use those kind of mics. If you see on a live stream, you'll see people use those kind of recording mics. They tend to have headphones on, and it's a completely different setup. Not to cut out echo as such, but to the more close that you can keep the sound, the purer your sound is. So it's a shield from just stopping outside noises and even reflections off the wall, sound reflections off the wall and the ceiling, that kind of thing. Just keeps the sound a little bit more compressed in so that it's a purer sound and you're not getting what they call artifacts from the air. You know, every room has its own sound, and I have a strange shaped room here because I'm in the roof. But I mean, having said that, everybody uses those shields. It just helps, purify the sound. So there you go. Good question, Sid. And then there's a little round shield that goes in front of it, which stops your those kind of things, which you don't need so much on this kind of mic because this is more sturdy. But yeah, that's ultra sensitive, that other one. And a lot more expensive. This one's, I think these ones cost about $300 and those ones cost about $1,500. And you can get recording mics that cost $20,000 as well. But, that's not the one I have. Let's do Girl in the Song. Used to sleep in a loft, so you know the weird-shaped rooms. I actually love weird-shaped rooms. There's something cozy about them. I think they're awesome. Even though I do sometimes hit my head on the ceiling. I should know by now, right? I mean, it's been this shape the whole time. And I know how tall I am. You look at me in the eye while you're singing about her. You don't see the crowd of 1,000 people here. Truth can be heavy. Is this your way of telling me you want me? Am I the jelly knife that keeps your head spinning? at the pillow of my lips underneath of my neck, the curve of my back and the light in my green eyes. Is it me in a melody? Love is woven there. Am I the one that makes you high? Am I the girl in the song that I'm hearing? Am I the one that gives you reason for living? Am I the girl in the song? Will we stay enchanted? Is it safer there? The song will always have you wanting me. Am I the girl in the song that I'm hearing? Am I the one that gives you reason for living? Am I the girl in the song? Am I the girl in the song that you're singing? Am I the jelly knife that keeps your head spinning? Am I the girl in the song? Ooh, hey, hey, ooh, yeah, hey. Girl in the song from Wallflower. There you go. It feels like the album's been out forever, even though the vinyl has just arrived. And thank you. And even though I still don't know when I can do an official launch party. It's difficult to say. I've got a whole lot of gigs coming up from about mid-October, which, as I mentioned earlier, October 18 is meant to be our Freedom Day. And there are a whole lot of people just on tenterhooks waiting to see if things are going to go ahead. And we have a pretty good idea that they are, because even though our numbers are still like 1,000, 1,200 a day in New South Wales, well, Australia? No, it's a little bit higher in Australia. But we're the lucky ones here, you know. In the biggest city, in the biggest state, we have by far the worst numbers. But in this state, they're about 1,200 a day, which is scary. And things are going to open anyway, and they'll just be restricted. But yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainty. It's all based on how many people are vaccinated, and they want 70% of over 16s to be vaccinated before they'll open up. But how about all the under 16s? Yes, I still need to book that gig on Fremont Street in Vegas, November 9. Oof. Don't think they'll be letting us out of the country at that stage. Anyway, let me know what you'd like to hear. I've still got a request. Oh, this is a song that reminds me of my childhood. I know we were talking about books that remind us of our childhood. But this song definitely reminds me of my childhood. Was this song, I mean, this came out in the 60s, I think. Was this meant to be a kid's song? Or was it just a song that was kind of on the charts and kids just liked it? pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant wings make way for other toys. One grey night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell off like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Ah, it always brings a bit of a tear to my eye when the little boy stops believing in Puff. Oh, we got a few requests here. You'll be staying at Binion's, Fremont Street, right next door. It was a kids' Saturday morning show. Ah, there you go. I always thought it was sad. Yes, I've always thought that too. It's just got such a great story, hasn't it? And we've all been kids. We've all been kids, and we know what it's like to kind of lose that innocence. And but I love the fact that it's from the dragon's point of view, you know, the imaginary dragon that is not believed in anymore. I think it's such clever writing. All right, I'm going to play you a little bit of a video. This is from my very first album. And it's funny, the songs on the first album, if you've heard it, are very poppy, kind of pop rocky. But I was starting to get into electronic music then. And this is kind of one of the first songs where I started to really experiment with that kind of sound, which is the sound I've ended up kind of sticking with. Guy dressed in a huge costume. Oh, and that purple dinosaur that we all see, I think it's the Wiggles dinosaur, isn't it? Dino or something? He was the copy of that. There you go. I didn't realize it was a kids' show. Okay, this is Love Is All.
It's a face I half remember, in a place I've half forgotten. Not a dream, it was real. We were there together. Suddenly everything's clear. Under the tree, we talked for hours. Under the sea, a tiny flower, life was so sweet. We knew it all then. Did you forget? We go back there. often grey there. It didn't matter at all, we had love. Then the years all flew by, and now I know what we had done. I realize love is all. I knew it once before. The fog is lifted from my mind, and I know love is a dream. We touch for hours under us. Tiny flowers, so sweet. You is all did you forget? We go back there. Life can be wonderful, at least it can be. Now I'm there. Not a dream, 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 dream. Not a dream, 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 dream. Not a dream, it was real. We were there together. Suddenly everything's clear. Did you forget? Life can be sweeter. Did you forget? Dum da da dum. Dum da da dum. Dum da da dum. Dum da da dum.
Oh, Sydney, you're going to leave? Oh, James, you're still here. Sydney's mum has a doctor appointment and you've got some things to do. No worries, Sid. It's, as usual, great to see you. And the requests can last till next time anyway. Or I might take them off, but we can put them back on. That is funny, Paul. Is that I hope that's a candy cigar. You know, it wasn't that long ago that I still saw those things in the shops, because I remember as a kid we had those pretend. I mean, seriously, the way to encourage kids to actually smoke, let's make candy versions. And I think, you know, not many people would actually give them to their kids anymore, but I had them as a kid. But can you imagine, you know, in that movie, I think it's like the 1930s or 40s, you know, you're so close to someone and they're blowing smoke in your face? Not very romantic, I would say, but things have changed. I mean, you watch Mad Men, which I love, TV show that I love, that's set in the 50s and the 60s. And all the pregnant women are smoking and drinking, and they're smoking and drinking in the office. Yeah, the candy cigs are yummy. Ah, James, it's just so nice that you're still here. And hey, all the best. We better give you a kiss goodbye, huh? Hey, Sid, and say hello to Lynn for us. I hope all is well with her. So, yes, thank you for everything as usual, Sid. It's always a huge pleasure having you here. And I'm going to do this song for you even though you have to go. Don't worry if you have to go. You go. But I'll do this song anyway. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and bend. Hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment, so overdue I owe them. Swept away I'm strolling. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. I will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together at skyfall. At skyfall. Skyfall is where we start. 1,000 miles and poles apart, where worlds collide and days are dark. You may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together at skyfall. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'd never be me without your security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in my hand and we'll stand. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together at skyfall. When the sky falls at Oh, you know, I'm a massive fan of anything James Bond. Oh, you stayed for this song. Thanks, Sydney. All the best and good night. Thank you so much for joining us today. We need another Easton to do a Bond song. That is right. Absolutely. You know how much I would love to do that. That is my big dream. Billie Eilish did a beautiful Bond song. I don't know it. I mean, I've heard it, but I haven't never learnt it. But I think that Skyfall is one of my favourites. But I think Billie Eilish's version of a Bond song was beautiful as well. And then, of course, there was the Guns N' Roses one, and Sheena, my my aunt Sheena did one. I'm not going to play a Bond song now, but We have a bot. We have a spam. I'm going to do a Billie Eilish song if you don't mind, but please feel free to request something. Don't be that way, fall apart twice a day. I just wish you could feel what you say. She'll never tell, but I know you too well. Kind of mood that you wish you could sail. If teardrops could be bottled, there'll be swimming pools full by models. Told that tight dress is what makes you whole. If I love you was a promise, would you break it? If you're honest, tell the mirror what you know she's heard before. I don't wanna be you anymore. Hands getting cold, losing feelings, getting old. Was I made from a broken mold? Hurt I can't shake, we've made every mistake. Only you know the way that I break. If teardrops could be bottled, there'd be swimming pools full by models. Told that tight dress is what makes you whole. If I love you was a promise, would you break it? If you're honest, tell the mirror what you know she's heard before. I don't wanna be you. I don't wanna be you. I don't wanna be you anymore. Oh, yes, for your eyes only. I can do for your eyes only. Absolutely. Auntie Sheena. I got to say, even before I knew we were related, I always loved this song. Not so much My Baby Takes the Morning Train, which is probably her biggest hit. But I always love this. Well, it's a Bond song. I'm going to have to learn some more. There's some good ones. Okay, what's your favourite Bond song? Sheryl Crow did one that was really good. I can't remember the name of it. But then there's the Guns N' Roses. There was Carly Simon. Can't think of them offhand, but I know there's a lot of good ones. Oh, Shirley Bassey. Love Shirley. I should do some Shirley Bassey. Goldfinger. Hey, Sunwatch, how are you? Nice to see you here. We have been talking about James Bond since I am a massive fan of James Bond and have a little bit of Bond influence in my music. Love Skyfall. But here is For Your Eyes Only by Sheena, my Auntie Sheena. Your eyes only can see me through the night. Your eyes only, I never need to hide. You can see so much in me, so much in me that's new. I never felt till I looked at you. For your eyes only, only for you. You see what no one else can see. Now I'm breaking free for your eyes only, only for you. The love I know you need in me, fantasy you freed in me, only for you. For your eyes only, the nights are never cold. You really know me, that's all I need to know. Maybe I'm an open book because I know you're mine, but you won't need to read between the lines. For your eyes only, only for you. You see what no one else can see. Now I'm breaking free for your eyes only, only for you. The passion that collides in me, the wild abandon inside in me, only for you, for your eyes only. Hey Gun, how are you going? Great to see you there. Diamonds are forever. And same with Goldfinger. I love her. I love Shirley Bassey. And of course, you know, the combo, the drama combo of Shirley Bassey and a James Bond theme is perfect. How you guys know each other? Sun and water? I'm still calling you water, even though you're too wasted today, Paul. And even though I know your real name. I'm going to play you a song that I would love to see as a Bond theme. And I was this is the single from my couple of EPs ago, Out of the Blue. The song's called Dance to the Music in My Head. And I was very inspired by the vibe of a James Bond tune with this song. Come here, join me. I can see you frightened to look into my deepest blue. But I'll be watching you from here. Comes down to this. I can see your jealous twitch when I overload the switch here. But I like living here this way. I hear this tune instead.
this tune instead. Ooh, you know, ooh, they know, ooh, no one knows the name. I dance to the beat that I can hear. It delivers me from all there is to Scared I could pull a shiv out from underneath of my coat, but all I have is my heart to hold up there to your throat. You swear under your breath you'll never sink down to this day.
So I think part of the reason that people think James Bond when they hear that, or I was going for that anyway, is this. This kind of chord progression, which I'm totally in love with. And pretty much Bond themes always have that kind of thing in them. It's that drama. And you know, I know it's not always cool to be kind of theatrical and, you know, big as a pop artist, but I love that kind of thing. And that's what Bond themes always have. They have drama. People might say they're cheesy. That's okay. I know that my music can be along those lines too, and I love it. So, you know, you just hope that you find the other people that in the world that love that kind of thing too. But that song, of course, the theme behind it, the idea behind the song is when something happens to you in your life that's really knocked you off guard and you kind of live in your head, so you're not living in the real world. And those microphones are cool, yes. That is somewhere. I've got that somewhere. It's a good microphone to look at, and it's basically the same insert as this one. It's a Shure 58 for those who understand that kind of thing. But it doesn't ever work as well live as this microphone, just the way the cage, it's called a cage microphone, the way it's set up. But yeah, so the idea of the story is that sometimes what we're living in our own head is different than the real world. And so you're dancing to the music in your own head rather than living in the flow of life, you know, particularly when things happen to you, around you. And, you know, I'm a massive sci-fi nerd. And I feel like, you know, when things are going bad, there's kind of a sci-fi evil movies happening in my head. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that kind of thing. Maybe the way your movie inside your head looks is going to be different to mine. But I think we all sometimes have times where we don't feel very connected to the world because we're really worrying about something, or we're just, yes, going off in our own heads. All right, this is a song for you too, Wasted. This is a song that I wrote for my dad from my last album, Wallflower. Thank you for the request, Paul. You were logic, I was melodrama. I haven't changed. At times I look into the mirror and in my eyes I see you again. It was safety and security you wanted for me, but I erred towards audacity. You'd be pleased secretly. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. Your quiet wisdom, your ferocity, I miss that too. Oh, you'd be outraged at our politicians, what the world's been through. I want to tell you how it all turned out. Wish I could introduce to you the people I love. You'd look over your newspaper and you would love them too. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. Tears still strike at the strangest moments, but I know you're still with me. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. Thank you, Paul, for requesting that one. A song for my dad. And don't be shy if there's something that you'd like to hear. You can go to the song list at Command SL. And I have added a few other cheeky commands lately. I'm not sure that they're all working. Hey, Paul, do you think you could try watch time for me? So exclamation watch time as one word. It should say, because you've been here pretty much from the beginning of the stream, I think. So hopefully it would come up and let you know. So I think the watch time is just for today. I don't think the follow age one worked. And, you know, feel free to give out kisses and hugs at any time. They're always appreciated. I feel like I get them here on my end. I think no gap. I think it has to be exclamation mark with no space. I think. Not 100% sure. You know, I'm still, oh, that song for your dad. And you lost your mum. Well, James, you definitely need one of this. I hope so, Pete. Oh, you've watched my stream for 0 hours. Well, that's not very fair, is it? That's just not true. Oh, unless did you change your uptime? I don't think I've got a command for that set up. What does that mean? You have to let me know these extra commands because, you know, I haven't worked out all the commands on Twitch yet. James, this is for you. Sending a virtual hug from me. All right, let me see. What kind of thing do you feel like listening to? I feel like something, you know, I love my melancholy. This is kind of melancholy. This is from the Eagles. Uptime is the time you've been broadcasting tonight. Oh, okay. I might have to set something up on the other end for that one. Here's an Eagles song that I love. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hard one. I know that you've got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. Now it seems to me some foul things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones you can get. Desperado, oh, you ain't getting no younger. Your pain and your hunger, they're driving you home. And freedom, well, that's just some people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? Sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. You're losing all your highs and lows. Ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences. Open the gate. It may be raining. Oh, there's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you. Let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you before it's too late. Oh, you're very welcome, James. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, the tiger scared me. Oh, that is so funny. And look, he's running just over where Smokey is crashed out. I think he wants to play. He wants to play with Smokey. Oh, oh, that frightened me. That was funny. Yeah, let's do some Bon Jovi. Did Bon Jovi ever do a Bond theme? They should have if they didn't. Here he goes. Look, Smokey, you got a friend. As usual, she's showing her excitement. All right, let's do some Bon Jovi the Mandy way, as in lo-fi piano, girly. But son, watch, if there's anything you'd like to hear, feel free to request something. Tommy used to work on the docks. Union's been on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. So tough. Gina works the diner all day, working for a man. She brings home a pay for love. She says we'll hold on to what we've got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it all night. Got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Tommy got his 6-string in hark. Now he's holding in what he used to make it talk so tough. Oh, it's tough. Gina dreams of running away. When she cries in the night, Tommy whispers, baby, it's okay. Someday we gotta hold on to what we've got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it all night. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Living on a prayer. We gotta hold on, ready or not. You live for that fight when it's all that you've got. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Living on a prayer. Oh, Bon Jovi. I love doing Bon Jovi when I have, fantastic guitarist and a band behind me, but it's always fun to do Bon Jovi anyway. I couldn't resist putting a Bon Jovi on the list, even though it's all a bit crazy with the lo-fi piano. Oh, that's a nice song, Tennessee Waltz. Yeah, I would love to do that one for you. I have left the requests on the list up here that Sydney had to leave us earlier than he thought, so I'll take them off because he can put them on again. He might be in a different mood next time he comes along, so I won't force him to listen to a request that he's made today that we didn't quite get to before he had to go. Thank you. Yeah, chill out song, Tennessee Waltz. I got to say, this is one of those songs I do I did before we went into lockdown. Hopefully I will again do a solo piano bar gig at the Star Casino in Sydney. And when I first got the gig, they said, oh, can you do requests? And I'm like, what? Because I've been a singer for a long time, but the piano is a relatively new instrument to me. And it freaked me out that people could just walk up and ask for songs and I'd have to try and play them properly. But I've been doing it long enough that I can kind of do it now. And this is one of those songs. And when I say long enough, it's only been about 6 months. But, 6 months is a lot better than 0. And this was one of the songs that someone came up to me one night and asked for. So what I do, I'm not clever enough just to play it. Not like someone like Kenny. We all know Kenny from Kenny's Prog Rock Jukebox. He's just awesome. And he seems to be able to pull out a song from the air and just play it. He is just great. Anyway, I can't do that, but I pull up a chart from the internet and hope that I can remember how the song goes. And this is one of those. It's somebody asked for this, and I'm like, Tennessee Waltz? Kind of think I've heard that before. And I think we all have songs like that, don't we, that you've heard on the radio, but you're not sure exactly. Oh, thank you. You liked my version, my weird version of Living on a Prayer. Do I know Danny's song by Anne Murray? No. I know one other Anne Murray song, and that's Can I Have This Dance? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? That one. But I don't think I know Danny's song. It might be one of those ones that I know if I hear it as well. Anyway, this is for Sunwatch. Good name, Sunwatcher. I like it. There is sun outside my window right now, so I'm loving that. Coming into spring here in Sydney. Where are you from, Sunwatcher? Are you southern or northern hemisphere? You're in Arizona as well. Oh, Sydney, that I had all those requests up on the screen before. He's from Yuma in Arizona. And I recently got a record deal for that album you can see in the background there, Wallflower, from a record company based in Arizona, in Phoenix, called Renaissance Records. So, yeah, I've never been to Arizona. I've been to the US. I haven't had the luck to go to Arizona yet, but I doubly want to go there now. I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I was introduced him to my darling, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz. I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing my beautiful Tennessee waltz. I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz, 'cause I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my darling, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz, 'cause I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing that beautiful Tennessee waltz. Coming now winter, you can wear shorts and tank top for Christmas. Yes. I mean, we can, of course, in Australia because it's our summer, but we could never do that in winter. I love hot weather. So I know that I would love it in Arizona. That's another place on my list when we get to do this. Don't forget, I have a few little cheeky animations down here, but I think at the moment we should all go to Arizona. So hold on, because the plane is coming our way. I can see it. There it is. I have a few funny little animations if you want to check out. Just, I'm sure you know what channel points are. I call them Mandy's here, and it's just a matter of, they're pretty cheap, my channel points, because I'm only a new streamer. So feel free to, when I say cheap, of course, you only get channel points, not from an exchange of actual money, but just by watching and just by coming to the stream, you build up your channel points. So you can swap them out for some funny little things. Danny's song by Loggins and Messina. Yeah, I don't think I know it, but maybe Anne Murray did it but didn't write it. But a song, it's not really along those lines, I suppose, but it's kind of a little bit country-ish. And since we're talking about flying places, which we in Australia can't do yet, but hopefully that'll change. I did hear, I think on the news, that in the States from November you'll be allowing international visitors. That won't include us. We've all got the plague, but and we're not allowed out yet, I don't think. But that's exciting, that things are happening. So here's a song from, oh my goodness, his name has just completely escaped me, but he wrote Annie's song, which rhymes with Danny's song. John Denver, of course, I'm talking about. This is wishful thinking for us Aussies. All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up and say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. Taxi's waiting, it's blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down, so many times I've played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I'll think of you. Song I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you. Close your eyes and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. About the times I won't have to say. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go, but I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. head to go. Yes, Sunwatcher, that's right. Well, Kenny has been my inspiration. What a waste. Too wasted, actually. He redeemed his right to take over a raid one day. And I'm so glad you did that, Paul. Please do it again another time. In fact, you don't really need to redeem your channel points to do that. If you have someone, anybody, I'm talking to everybody here, if you have a channel that you'd love to raid with me, which I will do soon, actually, today, then I'd love your suggestions. Because I'm still quite new to Twitch, I try and discover people for myself, and I have found some amazing streamers here that I've really, really loved. But it's always really good to hear other people's recommendations. And Paul took me one day to Kenny's. It was the prog rock jukebox stream, but of course I've since discovered the Jukesters as well. I missed out on the Rocky Horror Show last week. I'm silly. It's like my own fault. I kind of knew it was happening and then it slipped my mind. But I'm a massive Rocky Horror Show fan, so I really want to get to the Jukesters Rocky Horror Night. Even my 21st birthday was a Rocky Horror Show theme, and I always wanted to be magenta. But when I went to Kenny's stream that time that Paul took me there, excuse me, I don't want to burp in the microphone and be a pig. It's drinking kombucha does that to you. Yeah, I saw all his animations and I didn't even know you could do that on Twitch. So I did add a few of my own. It's not to the extent he does it because Kenny has a green screen behind him. So he's got it all happening. But there are a few. I got to say, this is probably one of my favorites because I'm a sci-fi nerd. A lot of my animations have sci-fi themes. So that's one of my favorites. But I also have one that comes from one of my music videos. Now, where is that? That's this one. And that's me. So I love that. I love Twitch for so many reasons. The most important thing I love about Twitch is the fact that you meet some awesome people from the streamer's point of view, as well as the people that don't necessarily stream themselves, but like the people here right now that, you know, that go to streams. But one of the things I really love is the interactivity. You know, you just can't do that kind of thing. Tuck Shop Dave, how are you, mate? Very good to see you. So I was just saying how much I love Twitch and the people of Twitch. It's been such a revelation, and I probably go on about it. But I'm still new to this whole thing, and it just... I've been telling all my artist friends that they've got to get on here. And they are. They're... You know, it takes time to get all the tech together, and if you haven't live streamed at all, then it's a whole jump in kind of paradigm. So, Tuck Shop Dave, if there's anything you'd like to hear, I'm going to... we've been talking sci-fi the last couple of days that I've been streaming. So I'm going to play you a video that I made for one of my songs that is dedicated to David Bowie. And because David Bowie and I both love, you know, sounds like he's my mate, David Bowie and I both love our sci-fi, and he's appeared in a lot of sci-fi movies, I wanted to create a music video that was sci-fi themed. And my favourite sci-fi, I either like it really ultra-modern or I like it really ultra-retro. So I've gone the retro way, and I've cut up an old movie, public domain footage. It's a Japanese sci-fi movie from the 50s, and I've added green screen stuff and done, you know, and it's got a bit of a story of our times. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is from my Polaroids and Postcards album. Yes, I got to go to Roswell, New Mexico. Absolutely. You're a Trekkie, Dave. I'm a Trekkie and a Star Wars fan, both. An alien festival. That's awesome.
12 billion light years away on the Cerulean planet, in the Black Star Galaxy, the Alien Federation holds an emergency meeting.
As you can see, the Earthlings are in trouble. They need help fighting their demons. What can we do?
We must go and show them they already have the tools they need.
You sang to me in French and Italian. I held you to my chest and then I pinned you to the wall. You give to me your sweet science fiction. The needle drops again and then you open up the door. You broke me when you left me, even though we never met. I hope the man among the stars is treating you well. You're the man who fell to us, silently with a song. You're the man who fell to us, rock and roll with lipstick on. No one could wear glitter like you did. You lived on your emotions and you gave us so much more. You lit the world in serious moonlight, dancing underground and howling through the attic door. You broke me when you left me, even though we never met. I hope the man among the stars is treating you well. You're the man who fell to us, silently with a song. You're the man who fell to us, rock and roll with lipstick on. You're the man who fell to us. You're the man who fell to us, rock and roll with lipstick on.
So that's my dedication to my love of sci-fi and David Bowie. So, Battlestar Galactica Sunwatcher. I'm a massive fan of the new series. It's probably about 10 years ago. Might be more like 15 years ago. That was on telly and it had the spin-off Caprica. I had a couple of spin-offs. I reckon that series is one of my favourite series of any kind ever. I loved it. Amanda the Alien Slayer. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, if you can't put yourself in your own video clip killing aliens, what's the point of being a pop artist? It's all about the fantasy, isn't it? Well, since we're talking about aliens, and I always wondered if David Bowie was an alien with his two coloured eyes and his zaniness, and that's a total compliment coming from me. If I say I think you might be an alien, that's like the nicest thing I could say about you. Tuckshop Dave, your girl is a big sci-fi head. Good on her. Good night, Pete. Awesome to see you as usual, and thank you so much for the subs. Even though we're talking about stuff that you love, we'll be talking about it another time, I'm sure. All the best. All the best to your mum too. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers wanna know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in the most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I've passed 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Ground control to Major Tom. Your circuit's dead. There's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? I'm not floating around my tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. That is the first song I ever heard from David Bowie. That's when I fell in love with him. Luckily, I had cool older cousins that introduced me to stuff like that. I grew up with classical music, and the only stuff I knew apart from that was stuff my friends at school would let me into. And that was all, lots of cheesy top 40 stuff. So, yes, I had cool cousins that had a whole lot of, back catalogue of David Bowie and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Starman is a good one. I think I can probably do Starman as well. Can I do Starman? I reckon I can. And then I'll do your request too, Sunwatcher. Actually, I'll do Starman next time. I've done it once before, but it's a bit tricky. Ziggy, I love Ziggy. Oh, there's so many good themed songs, sci-fi themed songs from David Bowie. So I will do, I know you didn't actually request a song, you just mentioned it, Tuck Shop Dave, but I would like to do it for you, but I'll do it next stream. Some David Bowie songs are tricky because he's very good at what he does. But I will do Wuthering Heights, which will probably be my last song of today. I'll go out and hang out with my young boy. And if you'd like to come on a raid with me, we'll find somebody. If you want to suggest anybody, I'm all ears. But this is for you, Sunwatcher, and it's been great meeting you. I don't know if you're already following, but if you like what you hear and, want to hang around more, please give me a follow. I've got a Discord server too. We'd love to see you in there. It's brand new. It's 2 days old.
Out on the windy malls we'd roll and fall in green. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hard, too greedy. How could you leave me when I needed to possess you? I hated you, I loved you too. Bad dreams in the night, they told me I was going to lose the fight. Leave behind my wuthering heights, Heathcliff. It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home and I'm so cold. Let me into your window, Heathcliff. It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home and I'm so cold. Let me into your window. Oh, it gets dark, it gets lonely on the other side from you. I find a lot falls through without you. I'm coming back, love, cruel Heathcliff, my one dream, my only master. Too long I roam in the night. I'm coming back to his side to put it right. I'm coming home to Wuthering Heights, Heathcliff. It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home and I'm so cold. Let me into your window, Heathcliff. It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home and I'm so cold. Let me into your window. Ooh, let me have it, let me grab your soul away. Ooh, let me have it, let me grab your soul away. You know it's me, Kathy, Heathcliff. It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home and I'm so cold. Let me into your window, Heathcliff. It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home and I'm so cold. Let me into your window.
Ah, there you go. Kate Bush. Love Kate Bush. And thank you for requesting that, Sunwatcher. I'm going to find somebody to raid. If you have any requests, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to see who I've got on my little palette of choices here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you very much. Is Pete still live? Let's go to Pete's. Huh? Oh, you just said Pete too, Wasted. Usually he's finished by the time I finish. Definitely going to see Pete. Let's go. Awesome. The perfect choice. See you over there, folks.